At the conclusion of Shogun Episode 10, which had several surprising turns and disclosed that the engine's ship had been destroyed, John Blackthorne's doom was set. The devastation of John Blackthorne's ship at the end of Shogun was caused by two significant turns. In an unexpected episode, Yoshi Toranaga and John Blackthorne's journeys were satisfactorily finished with the Shogun finale. Rather than offering a furious action-packed and death-filled ending, Shogun Episode 10 concentrated on providing context for Toranaga's actions. From the first episode onwards, the Lord of Kanto had been strategically advancing his goal of becoming shogun, without inciting violence within his nation. The only thing that Lord Toranaga could not have foreseen was the arrival in Japan of John Blackthorne, who had a direct impact on his scheme. Given that Blackthorne played a crucial role in Toranaga's chess game, it was inevitable that Toranaga would decide the engine's fate. It was Toranaga who ordered the destruction of Blackthorne's ship, even as he feigned to be looking for a traitor in a Jiro. The English pilot may never learn of this, and even if he does, it's unlikely he'll ever leave Japan. For three main reasons, Lord Toranaga ordered the destruction of John Blackthorne's ship. First of all, Blackthorne's life would only be saved provided he never left Japan, according to the agreement Lady Mariko made with the Christians. Second, Toranaga ensured that the ship would be scuttled in order to retain Blackthorne. Toranaga thought that the engine's only hope was to remain in Japan, and he also wanted to put Blackthorne to the test by demolishing his ship. In actuality, he had used Toranaga in the opposite way from how Blackthorne thought. It is possible that Toranaga never meant for the engine to go back home. For his shogunate, Toranaga envisages an era of complete peace and nonviolence, which includes averting a possible conflict between the Protestants and Catholics regarding trade in Japan. Strangely, Toranaga informed Yabushige that John Blackthorne was not necessary for the success of his scheme. All Toranaga wanted was for Blackthorne to be around since the engine made him laugh. Blackthorne's bad behavior also helped to divert Lord Toranaga's adversaries. Toranaga was able to plan his coup with far greater freedom since Ishido and the Christian lords were preoccupied with Blackthorne and his vessel. For his shogunate, Toranaga intends an era of complete peace and nonviolence, which includes averting a possible conflict between the Protestants and Catholic Portuguese on trade in Japan. Lady Mariko arranged for John Blackthorne's life to be spared from the Portuguese before she died. Blackthorne, based on William Adams, was the first Protestant to enter Japan and a menace to the local Catholic priesthood. Since Episode 1, the Portuguese had wanted Blackthorne dead because they believed he would set off a series of events that would eliminate Portugal's power in the area. The Portuguese had a strong hold on the nation's commerce. Therefore, Blackthorne's chances of winning the conflict between Ishido and Toranaga were slim. For this reason, Lady Mariko, who became a Christian 14 years prior to the events of Shogun, used her position of power to attest to Blackthorne's life. Before heading to Ishido's castle to die, Mariko made a final request to Father Alvido and Lord Kiyama. They should spare the engine's life. They granted Mariko's request, but in exchange, Blackthorne's ship would need to be destroyed. The engine was not allowed to leave Japan, but he could survive. After learning about the arrangement, Toranaga gladly agreed to the conditions. Even after his ship was destroyed, Lady Mariko contributed to Blackthorne's survival. It is implied in James Clavell's Asian saga that John Blackthorne lived out his final years in Japan. Since the start of the series, John Blackthorne's sole objective has been to find his crew and return to his ship so they may travel home. But the Portuguese were unwilling to incur the danger of the engine's return to England because of his time spent in Japan. Even if Toranaga allowed Blackthorne to go home, he would not be able to escape Japan alive in those conditions. Nevertheless, it is true that Toranaga utilized Blackthorne and tampered with the engine's existence. Although Blackthorne is unaware of Toranaga's involvement, he is aware of Mariko's arrangement with the church. In Shogun Episode 10, Blackthorne wished to perform seppuku because he did not want the town to suffer while Toranaga searched for the traitor who had set fire to his ship. But in truth, there was no betrayer. In order to test Blackthorne's spirit, Toranaga set fire to the ship. Toranaga mentioned to Yabushige that after the ship is reconstructed, he might reveal the truth to Blackthorne, but Toranaga is probably going to destroy it again.